Hello, I'm Tim Geraghty. I'm a vet working for SRUC Vet Services based out of the Craveston Surveillance Hub here in Aberdeenshire. At the minute we're experiencing some very nice early September weather. Harvesting is well underway here and lots of spring barley coming in this weekend, and plenty autumn grass on the go. As a general rule, I think it's been a great grass year and there's lots and lots of grass still ahead of us coming into the back end. Turning our minds to livestock disease, I think we've quite well covered parasites and sheep scab in recent editions, so if you'd like to see them, please find the YouTube channel and find your way back there. I'd like to talk about the breeding ewe flock maybe now. I appreciate lots of us are busy with other tasks at this time of year, especially in mixed enterprises where we do have harvest to get to, but we do need to turn our mind toward the sheep and the breeding ewes and think forwards towards the oncoming season. At this time of year, from the health point of view, it's a great time to think about looking into your flock for evidence of Iceberg diseases. There's a number of ways that you can do this. It's typically done on cull ewes, so older ewes leaving the flock, and especially those that are in poor body condition despite adequate feeding. So if your ewes have been on good grass since weaning and are still under conditioned, then those are the perfect ones to look for evidence of Iceberg diseases. Blood samples are perfect, so usually sampling around 12, we can do that for the majority of the Iceberg diseases and look for evidence of antibody, and with the advantage that those ewes can still be marketed once they are and sold off farm. For OPA, there is no blood test, unfortunately, so it's typically lung scanning that's done, and speak to your vet practice about whether they can come out and scan the lungs of those ewes. Or if you do have ewes which are in poor body condition, then please consider doing a post-mortem cull ewe screen. This is by far the most accurate way to diagnose Iceberg diseases in sheep flocks, and if done consistently over a number of years, will give you an extremely accurate picture of the disease challenges within your own flock. There is funding available through the Preparing for Sustainable Agriculture Fund now for cull ewe disease screening, so please remember that you can recoup almost the entire cost of doing this work this year through that funding stream. We're also just ahead of the main lameness spike in sheep, so infectious lameness, particularly scald and also foot rot, likely to spike once this weather changes, which it's inevitably going to do. So please bear in mind that a lameness review for the sheep flock is also covered by that sustainable fund, and so having a vet out to help investigate incidents of lameness, discover the causes and put a preventative plan in place can also cost you almost nothing this back end. So please think about Iceberg diseases and lameness in our sheep flocks. Turning our attention then to cattle, again they're enjoying this fine weather here in Aberdeenshire and they're enjoying the good grass supplies that we have, and I'm sure most of us will be looking to eke that grass out and try and shorten the winter if we can. They will eventually need to come inside for most of us, however, and please remember that the peak of pneumonia season is now ahead of us. In the next few months we'll be experiencing peak pneumonia challenge. For calves at foot, so springborn calves still at foot, weaning is by far the highest risk period. The combination of weaning, transport, mixing and housing, really a fatal combination when it comes to pneumonia. So please be speaking to your vets now, carve out some time now to plan how you're going to get the calf through those stressful events into the house safely and with minimal risk for pneumonia. A lot of that is to do with separating stress, trying not to compound it all on top of the other, and of course we can also perk up the immune system through strategic vaccination. This is a great time of year to be talking to your vet about weaning stress and about vaccination ahead of housing.